functions, operation with the functions. So we have a function f of x, that is 6x squared minus x minus 1, and g of x is a linear function, 3x plus 1. So find the f of g of x. So we have to find the division of the function, the quadratic function f of x divided by linear function g of x, that is a 3x plus 1. So first of all, we are trying to see when we divide, so the domain of the intersection of the domains of f of x and g of x is going to be x excluded value. Then g of x we equate with 0 and we solve for x. But first of all, let's try to divide the function f of x divided by g of x. Let me take a pen here. And f divided by g of x is equal, let me write the fractional sign here, and now on the top I will write a 6x squared, 6x squared minus x minus 1 divided by 3x plus 1. And first of all, we are looking if the function f of x in a numerator is factorable. If it's factorable, we are going to try, can we simplify the function? If it's so, we can simplify. But if the function f of x is not divisible by function g of x, we are going to leave in this form as a rational function, and then the new function we are going to use it or to apply it as a rational function, and we already know how we can use a family of rational functions. So, but let's see now, can we factorize the 6x squared minus x minus 1? And this is a factorable. If we are factorizing 6x squared minus x minus 1, the factors are going to be 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1, and the other factor is going to be 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. Everything divided by the g of x, which happen to be 3x plus 1. And now, as we see 3x plus 1, we have numerator and denominator. So we can simplify now 3x plus 1 with 3x plus 1. And finally, we get a new function, which is going to be 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1. But now we are looking for the excluded value. For excluded value, we have to take a g of x. So let me write it with a different color. Here with this color, here with black, or with blue is better. So with this blue. So g of x, we are going to make equal to 0. With 0 equal to 0. And we are looking to find the excluded value. If we look for the excluded value, now we take g of x is 3x plus 1. So 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. And now this equation we are solving for x. When we solve for x, x is going to be equal with minus 1 over 3. So the excluded value of the new function is going to be equal with minus 1 over 3. In effect, if we are looking at x equal to minus 1 over 3, x should be different from minus 1 over 3. So as excluded value, x should be different from minus 1 over 3. But if we look from a different perspective, minus 1 over 3 is going to make this denominator 0, and then the function is undefined. But in order for us to make the function defined, we have to exclude this value x. It's different from minus 1 over 3. So the new function is f over g. So let me write here f over g. And everything here is of x. Of x is equal to 2x minus 1 when x is different from minus 1 over 3. And here we have a find f of g, the new function what we have here, to evaluate when x is equal with 1. When x is equal with 1, we write the f of g. Let me write here f of g, f divided by g. And when x is 1, I can write this way. And whenever it is in the new function x, I am going to apply 1 to input 1. So 2 times 1 minus 1. 2 times 1 is 1, minus 1 is going to be equal with 1. So if we are evaluating the new function, then x is equal with 1. So we're going to get f of g of 1 is going to be equal with 1.